Hi, my name's Vero, and today we're going to look at the new update from No Man's Sky, which dropped slightly earlier than I would normally stream. So here I am, rushing to get going. Look how upbeat I am. But I am pleased because, I made a recent video about is it time to update settlements, and it looks like No Man's Sky has an updated settlement patch. So Hello Games obviously agreed with me and must have had this in the works, which I kind of assumed they might do at some point. And hi, Ignition. Good to know I'm not alone. I didn't think I would be. I thought people would have spotted that this would be an update. I'll start off with my own very pleased party time settlement update because, as I say, I've been waiting for this one. And this would have made a lot of people happy and hopeful. Would have meaning has, I hope. And thanks for letting me know that I'm not alone and I'm streaming to actual people and not just the void. And hi, Alphys. And I haven't seen Gravnort yet. He may be around, but he was suggesting that beacon could mean settlement, and I couldn't work out why that would be a connection, but seems as if it is. So he was right. So let's read what it says here. No Man's Sky Beacon. Expand your planetary empire in No Man's Sky Beacon. Become overseer of multiple planetary settlements. Good move. That's something that we've wanted. And discover new salvaged autophage settlements. Excellent. They need to be better incorporated into the game. Introducing improved settlement balance, definitely a good idea. Better variety of management decisions. That tentatively makes me think maybe they haven't changed the core mechanic, but we'll see. Building upgrades, infestations, and new base parts. Become overseer of multiple settlements and guide the citizens of all the major alien races, Autophage obviously included. Discover settlements constructed by the secretive robotic Autophage and construct your own bases in their unique salvaged aesthetic. Now, for those of you that remember when settlements first came out, this was when we first got the new building parts. So I expect to see an entire new block of building parts. So we're probably going to have to try and get some salvage data. I don't think I've got an awful lot in most of the saves that would need them. Maybe I'll go into my longer term save to start with. What happened, Gravnor, is they did what you suggested they might be doing with Beacon. They've brought out settlement update. Enjoy improved settlement balance, management decisions, and building utility. So they're kind of repeating themselves multiple times here. I think it's very focused. And defend your settlers against infestations from the swarming brood. Now that code could be interesting. We'll see how that works out. Could be a bit more combat-y, bringing the swarming brood into a... Well, it depends what type of swarming brood there are. We'll see. We'll have a look. So, question is, where do I go? Let's go into my longest term save to start with, and we'll go and see what the building parts have to offer. I'll stay in just chatting for a second. How many maximums? We don't know. Hi, Saya. We don't know. Well, I'm literally logging in now. That didn't say. Patch notes might say, but we haven't got patch notes yet. So what do I have to do? This is the worst place to start because I've got to find my... Oh dear. Bit of stuttering there as the new update caches. Probably get that a lot around bases as they've changed the building parts. Let's go straight to any space station. It looks like my bases were in a different order. Why is it saying Settlement Administration Terminal on that planet? That's odd. That's certainly not... I reckon it's taken... No, I think that's just got confused. That might be the first sign of a bug, because that is not where my settlement is. Very odd indeed. But we now have a separate your settlements. Let's go to that first. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So it actually tells us how happy they are. I would guess that it might be quite a few. If we go by other things, I would guess we'd probably have a number of them, especially if it's got its own section in the... Let's put me on top of that. Especially if it's got its own section in the teleporters. Let's see if anything looks different here. Okay, so they've rearranged it a bit. We've got more settlement features. Excellent, because it did feel like once you had all things in positive on 6 of these, it just stopped showing you others. You can change the output. That's very interesting. So we can change to various things. It looks like we're limited by production rate. Requires A-class industrial building. Requires S-class commercial building. So like we were suggesting, if they ever do this, actually make the buildings do something. Excellent idea. Not only an excellent idea, we were discussing it the other day as our idea. So This settlement is still A. I wonder if it's now possible to make it S. We have a new building details. So now it says B. The overseer's office is B. Make settlements great again. Yep. Without going into politics, I agree. Supply materials, upgrade A class with 1 quantum computer. That doesn't sound hard. And that will take 1.5 minutes. So I don't remember this place being particularly stormy. I mean, it wasn't clear weather, but let's wait a second while that finishes building. Oh, it's even got a little B there, look, above the I wonder if each building has its own class.
Update. Storm clearing.
Advanced dock, view building details. Upgrade unavailable, another building is being upgraded. So we can individually upgrade buildings. Very interesting. And it has notes that might just be flavor text, might not be. Individually shows us the productivity and upkeep costs. So you have to balance things better. Definitely a game changer because it allows us to focus on crafting and other useful things for settlements. See, this is B. What is it? Is this a bar? Please, we'll go into the bar. No, it's not a bar. This is just a house. Or, well, actually, what is it? Well, I'll find out what it is. It's a multi-dimensional story. Okay. Upgrade on another construction site requires attention. Let's go back to that construction site. Does this have any... Did I just spot somebody? Yes, there's somebody here. What's he offering? He is... Is he different? Yeah, purchase components, purchase blueprints. Envoy of the Mercenaries Guild. Ah, we've got the guild representative at our settlement. Interesting. Anything different? I doubt there'll be anything different here, no. It's not the first time I've been happy, but I do like new things. I've always liked new things. Autonomous nutrition module. Enables B-class agricultural production. Especially as this is something we specifically wanted. Unveil building. Oh, it's almost like a game, look. This happens in games. Status. Happiness. This is definitely lower than it was when I was here before, so things have changed a bit. Productivity definitely much lower than it was before, so things are balanced very differently. Yeah, I'll address this directly. When new updates come out and I'm watching other people's streams and I'm saying to other people how I've reacted when an interesting update comes out, I often say that I spent a lot of time giggling. This is me giggling. I love new updates. I love the I love just exploring new things, and often those new things don't actually have quite as much depth as I sometimes think they have instantly. But this does look like a good bit of depth. It doesn't look like it's changed things dramatically. So can I upgrade to S-Class already? Let's see what happens there then. I would imagine it gets harder and harder to look after the settlement if you're upgrading it. Let's go out of just chatting now. There are new base charts to check out, and I'm just going to wait until, let's give a time on this, 34, 36. I'm just going to wait until this is S, so I can actually go in and then use, unless I can nip in the doors. That doesn't look like I can. Looks like they've shut it up while it's updating. Actually, no, I could leave it. Go up to my overseer base. I mean, it's one of the many things that we've asked for that would add depth to the game. Slightly more focus on an element of the game that was great when it came out, but needed a bit more depth. I'm going to go to a space station. You never know what will be in a space station. Oh, no, that won't help. That one. And then we'll go via there to the anomaly. One thing I want to check is whether we can just start building in our... Let's get the cache working a second. Let's just kind of just make sure everything's loaded in, because I keep getting stuttering because of the new textures probably. Right, well, is there anything new here? Not there. Not there. I wonder if there's a difference to how we get charts for settlements. No, that looks 5. I think that was standard. I think in this save I have loads of charts. Just pull up the thing that my exploring ship is my... Am I going back there? I don't need to go back there. The exotic on this save is my exploring ship. And it has 40 settlement charts. As I've always saying, this is a little bit OP. Presuming the guilds are going to be the same, even though we've got a guild envoy down the bottom. Yep, looks the same. Right, let's go and have a look at these new build parts. So let's try and get my camera sound centered a bit better. That's better. I think one of the things that people want from settlements is just for it to be a building site, a bit like any building. So I forgot to check to see if we could just build there. And I'm hoping it'll be a complete set of building parts. We're going to have to load all the textures in here along as well. Yeah, it looks the same, doesn't look like it's juggling too much. Oh, I haven't even done fossils on this one. So, void antenna. Let's go to the building parts first. So, it doesn't really show what they look like. Are they just dark? I don't have any salvage data on me. I think I have some in my freighter, so maybe I'll pull my freighter into this system. Sometimes I think it's easier to go to the local station to do things like this. I don't know if stations have got darker, or I just happen to be in a dark station. Let's read this a second. Why have they got multiple expeditions in progress? Why have I got... This is not from... Fool's Paradise is a settlement in a different save. So I don't know if that's a bug. That's very odd. Tell I haven't played this save recently. Do I have salvage data here? I should have a whole stack, I think. Unless I use them for something else. Doesn't look like it, but I'll just double check. Go into the menu, seeing if I've got any in the interface. It's interesting that there are expeditions in progress. It's almost as if expeditions are now constant. This happens. This quite often happens if you go from the anomaly to the space station. Yeah, that's better now. 3 out of 30, you reckon you saw? Well, we'll see what we got. We'll go to the interface, it'll give us a whole full number now. Now, I'm not turning on free purchases because I can't. This is a locked... Cannot change difficulty. This is a locked save. I only have 3, but I only really need to buy 1 to start with. Just want to see what the I'm interested in what that is though. Simple crystal based receiver for isolating sensitive. I reckon these are the new things that decorate our like we might see these lying around or as part of our settlements now. So they're just giving us the parts to play with as well. They don't look like they do anything. Okay, so let's just buy that. And buy a floor.
Item received.
And can't buy the doorway. Buy that. intrigued as to why it's giving me expedition from Fool's Paradise, which isn't even my settlement. It's not in my settlement list. They changed the community highlights? No, they haven't. Dirge Hermes, hi. It's never really clear how quickly the various things will be updated. PC has waited for a while recently, so it's interesting to see PC came up quite early. That's popping to the top every time. So yeah, you just have to wait until you start to see the updates. We can't really tell when it will be. Reopen building. I wonder if this has decreased my productivity now. Doesn't look that different. It's not bad population here. Settlement history. Total tenure as overseer, 0 days, 0 hours. So it's obviously starting from scratch. We've added 7. We haven't just added 7. You can retire. I wonder if you can have no settlements now. If you can retire from all of them, and it looks like you can because it didn't stop me and I've only got the 1 here. What are we going to do? We're going to see if we could build. No, we can't build normally. Luckily we have a building site just over here. I would say regards updates and when they will turn up. I'd check every half an hour or so if you have the ability to do that. So, wall. What colours do we have available? They're all quite dark colours, and we have rusted and polished. Even the lighter colour is quite dark. Oh, it's very... I think the sun's coming up. What time is it? Yeah. It's a very moody, dark, rusty appearance. Interesting. So they're a little bit like the Korvax build stuff, but more rusted and dated. Does the Korvax stuff have the... I don't think it has that electronic readout, does it? No. Probably the same shape. Or similar shape. Yeah, it's not quite the same. Because it's got those gaps in it. Just make sure it's the same type. Oh, no, that has the gap, so it's possibly the same shape. put it next to each other. Yeah, it's just reminiscent. Similar. Okay, so we have a new set. I mean, I'm never going to be upset with new build parts. They don't look radically new. And I'm not disappointed to see that. You can see from here just how many of the buildings have got class indicators. It looks like nearly every building has got a class indicator. That one, yes, that one's got one. Oh, it does have a terminal at the door. Wireless distribution hub. What happened there? Happiness improved by 2. Upgrade to A class of an enormous metal cog. Where's my bar? Don't seem to have moved things. They seem to be in the same places, which is actually quite unusual after a change of this kind. I was so hoping to see a barkeeper, but no. Does this have a letter? Looks like it does. So, there it is. Patrons only 4 maximum. Special features. Now, it would be lovely to see special features barkeeper. So it's an encouragement to use the crafting menus more. A lot of these things seem to need crafting materials or expensive goods. What's that? What is it? Is it a fish tank? Just seems to be some kind of industrial thing. Oh, it is a fishing pond. Oh, stand on there. So, I haven't done fishing for a while, so I'm even getting confused as to how to fish now. Oh, I've got some bait on. Does this even have? Yes, it does. See the hologram. Okay, seems normal. That's part of it. Enables B-class aquatic harvesting. Upgrade to A-class with 3 spicy chum. Well, I think I just used some of my spicy chum, didn't I? Yeah, it could be nicer. Especially some of the better frigates, maybe. That's not a bad idea. Let's see if we can put a fish trap in there. Doesn't look like it's letting me because we're not at a base. I thought you could put these anywhere, though. I've got all of the materials. It's just not recognizing it as a place to put it, I think. So yeah, it doesn't look like it. Why's this suddenly got steps? It's a hydro silo. I like it. Fish from here, look. Still can't see any holograms. Looks like it's got a texture on the water that's obscuring anything like that. Right. Tower calibration. Formulate navigation data. Scan for planetary buildings A-class. Scan for space anomalies S-class. Weird. So we can build navigation data. It gave us 5. And if I make it A-class, it can scan for planetary buildings. And if I make it S-class, it can scan for space anomalies. Very interesting. Get in the water. You think that it might make a difference to the trap? No, it doesn't. Just report it as a bug. I can't put a trap in my fish pond. No Man's Sky problems. Interaction. Don't think this has got class. I think it's just a habitation. Not sure. And it does. It's got. Is that a class indicator? Yes, it is. Some of them are harder to spot. Oh, there's the door. Luxury home. So presumably you can add residents. Oh, we've got residents 14 of 13, so it's overcrowded. So we need to probably increase this. Hi, Predator. We are exploring the new options in the settlements. What's this going to take? Yep, No Man's Sky. Yeah. No Man's Sky beacon update. Fishing pond upgrade to A-class 22%. Chosen the most boring thing to upgrade, and I've got to wait for it now. So, I think it does have a class on here, so what would this do? Doesn't tell us until employees. I always put the No Man's Sky in the description. I prefer short titles. I know that it can confuse, but so this one hasn't got any employees in here at all. So I wonder if that's because it's the second one. We have to relearn settlements. That actually has an employee. That's interesting. So you probably have to have enough population to man everything. You have different interactions. Yes, we do. Noteworthy abilities: whistling, gravity boots, navigation charts, current satisfaction level 55%, notes itchy. Some of that's going to be well, a lot of that looks like flavor text. He's a pilot. Does that mean that there's... I don't see an exotic anywhere, apart from mine. Let's use this useful tower to have a look. No. Interesting. Yeah, that's why I'm looking, Ignition. I'm looking around because it's like, oh, he had an exotic. But I don't see an exotic parked anywhere. 40%. This is taking a while, this upgrade. Temptation is just to upgrade everything. Maybe while we're upgrading, we could look for another settlement and see how the new settlement see if it's changed anything. Flashing of textures, that doesn't look great, does it? Might have to flush my cache just in case it's a local issue. Back down, have a look. Let's reset them now. Let's hope that was a one-off. So I don't want to do it on the same planet. Yeah, we're always going to get glitches early on. I mean, your hi, by the way, Rogue Sid. To some extent, whenever you update a game, really you should flush your cache out so that you don't get these visual glitches as often. And I suspect that's what happened there. It's just something about those textures has changed, or the meshes has changed. I thought I just bumped into something then. Okay, so see what we get on a settlement before we do anything. It's got stray rocks in the way of things that could cause a problem, but yeah, I don't think I would normally claim this settlement with all those assets sitting in the middle, but sometimes they'll go away when you claim them. We need Viking daggers. I'm sure I've got them in my freighter. Okay, so no real fanfare, it just gave me it. Bill, bring silicate powder to the construction site. So it looks like it's a normal, a little bit of visual glitching there as well. They changed the... No, that is still being held the same. Where is it? Where is the building site? There. Where is it? Ah, here. Yeah, 210. Should be quite quick. It looks slightly different the way that that dust is kicking up. No footprints. Still the only footprints we get from the mech. maybe look for some salvage data while we're waiting. Interesting, it shows all the different buildings now, so you can scan for them. Is there any salvage data here? I can't see any. Oh, there's some. There's a crashed ship just there. With a pilot. Nice ship. Seem to be picking up. Interesting. Oh, it's just too deep. I'm always trying to check which code base we're on because I'm convinced there are two different code bases. One of them allows easy pickup of stuff from the floor without digging. Yeah, it's too deep to know. Just a little tiny bit of rendering issues that I'm spotting. Yeah, 500 plating, easy. How long is that going to take? Not very long at all. I probably have all the local salvage data now. Well, I find that the deep ones, the salvage data next to damaged machinery can be deep or shallow, depending. What I'm more interested in is if it is shallow, can you grab it? Yeah, I can grab it. That gives me the answer that I'm looking for. I can grab it without digging. It's a particular code base, I believe. You sometimes see it when you can't do that. Two, one. Microprocessor. Just going to take approximately. Not very long at all. Oh, it says there 1 minute 17 seconds. So it would be interesting to know how many we can have. Keep an eye out for patch notes. I'll just have a quick look now. But if anybody sees patch notes at some point, let me know. Nope, still got relics. Is there a video released yet? On cannot mine within settlement range. Okay, fair enough. No, it's not going to let me pick it up. Where's my settlement gone? Over there. Expedition from Nerva settlement. Read expedition report. How do we do that? Use the space station. One of the problems I've always had with the expeditions is that they don't seem to give you a good report. So I'm hoping they've fixed that. No video or Twitter post. Cool. Did we get a cowboy this time? I didn't really look. Pool is still. Oh no, it's got a ticker next to it. Determined you see every opening. So what's changed? Productivity's probably changed, and happiness has possibly changed. Enables a class aquatic harvesting. Does that mean that if I now fish in it, I get A-class things? No cowboy. That's very odd. No, I got a B. If it, I don't know. Possibly one of the things that you can change the productivity for in the settlement interface. Did get a B twice, but I don't think that. Probably a coincidence. I think it's probably referring to this in here. Okay, proper debrief option. Citizen expedition success. The citizen expedition returned safely to the settlement. They sought valuable minerals from the impact craters of a meteor shower. Their mission was a grand success, and they willingly share the things they have found. So I can either take the nanites or donate expedition proceeds. Interesting. So settlement Reserves increase. Manage all settlements. Interesting. Now, why is Fool's Paradise showing? That's from another save entirely. So I'm guessing that we can change that. To some form of fish production. Industrial, leisure, agricultural. Maybe we have to change this one. Agricultural. Industrial, leisure, commercial. Not sure. Maybe it was just yeah, but if we look at the stats for this one, and then look at settlement history, total tenure here is 0 days and 0 hours as well. It's reset them all anyway. We'll go to the actual save that it's in a minute, and we'll just check. We've got fireworks going on. Quite sure why. Let's make a save and go into the other save and see what happens. Happy Cappy. Well, yes, as Alphas was just saying, it's a complete revamp to settlements. Victim select. That's quick. Is it after Titan or... I think it's after Titan, Fool's Paradise. No, that's shield wall. Yeah. So it must be Omega Plus then. Maybe there's a separate part of the save file and it's getting crossed over somehow. Let's catch a second. See, Fool's Paradise is on this one. I mean, maybe it tells us across saves, but that would seem odd that it was only a couple of them. I've definitely got one in a permadeath save. That's the door. Yeah, the autophage apparently also have settlements, and as when settlements first came out, the building parts that we have as the main things we get, like the Gek parts, the Viking parts, and the Korvax parts, are the parts that settlements were built out of, and so they gave us those as the new base parts originally. So now we have autophage potentially as settlements as well. They've given us all of the parts for those as well. So we've got an entire new set of parts. Plus, we seem to have a few new parts that are available that are similar to the new bits of technology we might see lying around. So lots of new building parts, which is obviously always good. View Force Paradise status. Doesn't seem to have anything obvious here going on. Starship Dock now gives 1 population growth, so we get populate and also fishing ponds. So it looks like we get population growth a little bit more easily now, and better stats all round. And look, that actually adds up to 100. That always completely confused people before. Never confused me. I never saw that as a problem, but. So yeah, if we look at we look, for instance, for those that are just asking about what's new, we look, for instance, at each new building type. I mean, each building type, they have a new terminal next to each of them. So, for instance, this landing pad now has an advanced docking zone action. It's called an advanced docking zone, but it now has an interaction point, and we can upgrade it if and when it becomes available, and it can upgrade that particular building to, say, the next class up. It looks like certain things will be limited. I don't know if that's population or productivity or what. But we'll discover as we go, I guess. I suspect we will. So a couple of things here. Yes, very excited for new building parts. I definitely agree with you. And yes, I suspect we can now get our settlements to S-class, which is something that people have been wanting for a long while, because we weren't able to before. I'm not seeing any evidence of this brood thing yet, but... Oh, look. I've got a starship outfitting. On our... so it's a bit like having a space station down here. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I wonder if we'll see other terminals around. Sorry, I didn't spot you'd said that, Grabnor. I caught it in my eye and thought, what? What's going on here? Yeah. Received this. Received. Yeah, this could be the beginnings of that. Oh no, it's how we get the autophage settlements. Interesting. Investigate the dissonance settlement. Will this be a new mini mission? No, it's look in the galaxy map. So it's just there. Be interesting if this gave us a new mini mission. Choose to well, this does look different. Looks very moody in this lighting as well. Nice first look at it, just coming through the weather effects. Similar to the look of a Colossal Archive, only smaller. Settlement overview. Servers overview. Settlement as an overseer for 300 Atlantidium. Very weird, isn't it? That reminds me of the artwork. Very spooky. I can't actually see here yet. It just seems like we claim it. Doesn't look like there's a mini mission. Gonna have to do something about assets encroaching. Because that's the second one I've been to where the assets have encroached. Yeah, it's very moody, isn't it? It's like kind of Geigerish. He's kind of trapped in the machine or is part of it, as if he is part of the settlement. Can't stand in it. Just walk through it. It's a shame. It's kind of nice that it's got horrible weather when we've arrived, so we don't really get a proper view of it.
Protection falling. Technology recharge.
$98, $99, $100. Waiting, so it's just standard. No mission, just claim it like you would anything else.
Storm clearing.
reload just in case these assets go away and I'll claim them settlement. So the next question will be, will this be available on the Switch 2? Will we get settlements as part of the Switch infrastructure? Still walk through that. That's very moving to have that just sitting there. I don't think the assets have moved. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heartbeat of a new Atlantid. Three microprocessors. Surprised I don't have them. Only got 2. There you go. Didn't take them. Okay, that's another bug. So there's a bit of a contrast colour-wise going on. Maybe that comes into the higher building parts. These got pipes on, that's interesting. Got a slight flow to them. Just a strange, slight texture to the moving texture on them. Holographic textures on those. And these are like the building parts we saw earlier. Atlantidian piece of equipment. I presume that might be one of the things we can get from terminal at the anomaly. They like their fireworks here too. Very dark and moody inside.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Nomad said, where's that from? It seems to be an odd thing where it's giving us extra settlement information for different settlements we don't actually have. I wonder if that's in another one of my saves. I hope it doesn't let up here, does it? See if the buildings have got similar things inside, but I have to find the doorways. Oh, this has got planters in. Can't plant anything in them. Interesting. Upgrade to B class of 120 nitrogen. It doesn't tell me what happens if I do it. I presume it goes from C to B class agricultural in the main terminal. Can't change anything yet because we're not profitable. Interesting. Yeah, it's a fascinating update. I agree. I'm wondering if that Nomad one was my OP perma save. Let's have a look. Let's get everything in cache here as well. It's probably going to stutter otherwise. Have they fixed the visual glitch here? They might actually have fixed it. Oh no, they haven't. There it is, just here. It's a shame. Right. Settlements. No, it's Dust Town, so that's not the one. You believe the update has just landed on Xbox? 23.21 gigabytes. Put that on the screen in case people are just watching without sound. Now this has always been an extreme sentinel planet where just going to it, I would usually get sentinels attacking straight away.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Keeps putting me in the middle there and then putting me up to the top, which is a bit odd.
Extreme sentinel added. Extreme sentinel added.
Here come the sentinels. It's on nitrogen and nitrogen at the moment. Very interesting. Technology decline, hallucination. I'm going to just check to see if this adds, because as we saw earlier, we've got an extra feature here. So we only used to have 6. So will it add one? Because these are all positive, so it won't replace a negative. Let's see if it gives an extra one. Purchase technology. New feature, which it always used to say, but didn't used to do anything. Yes. So we now get extra pages of settlement features. Very good. Hi, Lucian Jaeger, and yes, I presume you're responding to the fact that it's just dropped on Xbox. Any news? Anybody on PlayStation? Every settlement is just a new place now to me. It's not that they've changed the layout so much, it's just that it's got new options and possibilities. This entire planet's changed since I was last year. Shows how long ago I played my permadeath save. Even got greenery. Didn't used to have any greenery on this planet. I'll have a quick look at it. Now the photo mode gives glyphs along with the galaxy name. Have a look and see. I don't really want to put the glyphs of my permadeath planet for public knowledge. This isn't a save that I play openly. My feet are going through the ground here. Go to the terminal. Actually, I wasn't really going to do anything else. I just wanted to see what it looked like. So I will jump in and out of my ship if I can spot where I put it. There. Got that flickering here as well. If the same fix works. So I don't have the flickering now. Fascinating planet though. This was not like this at all before. Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of us have adventure. I made an entire video about this only a couple of weeks ago, about how we've mostly been ignoring settlements. Was it time for a settlement update? What they could do with a settlement update? And I presume they've been doing this for a while because it's pretty it's a pretty full-on set of features.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Okay, we'll go back to there. Just double check for patch notes again while I'm loading in. Nope. Actually, I don't want to take off. In this save, I've got stuff that I have shared locations of, so I can go somewhere where I have and check out the photo mode. Just walk right past the door. So I don't think I ever formally saved the shared these locals, and then like it's stuck inside. Oh, it's because yeah, I knew that would get stuck there occasionally. I don't think I ever formally shared this planet, but I will now. This is where my golem is. I've got a couple of golems here. It's a very nice planet to look for a golem if you wanted to build a golem base. So this is. Let's get photo mode and find out what it looks like. See if it does something different. Yes, it does. It says Eisenton Galaxy, which means that I need to change my glyphs thing. I can get rid of the galaxy name, and I can expand this slightly. Now, there's a dark patch I can put it over. So those are the glyphs of this particular planet. But yes, that's very, very nice. It's got, so has it got it in discoveries now? It doesn't say it there. Obviously, it'll still have it in wonders. Pity it doesn't have it here. It does there though, yes. It has it on the discovery list. Galaxy Eisenton. Ah, sorry, I'm still zoomed in. Now this one should have timed out, but I've obviously hit the wrong button. So we go to the discovery list. It's actually showing the galaxy here under the name of the, when we go into details. So that's in Eisenton. That's in Eisenton. That's a long needed thing. I wonder if we can filter. No. It's always a bit weird that you can't filter by yellow. It'd be nice if we could filter by galaxy, but that is an improvement. We can see what galaxy a particular system is. I actually paid attention to my setting. I got it to an A class with 0 maintenance cost of max. Yes, I did very much the same on my main save that I was showing initially. But then as it got to that point, you get it to that point and you don't really get any great benefits from it. And now it feels like at least we can choose what it does, what it's for. So the kind of things that it's making based on the buildings we have, based on the class of buildings we have as well. You can have multiples. It makes it a lot better. No, it didn't always show that because I've been asking for that. It should show it here, but at least it shows it here. I've been asking for that for ages because when you're clicking down this list, the only way to tell before whether or not it was in the galaxy you were in was to try and set a waypoint. And if it said you couldn't set a waypoint, or if the waypoint was grayed out, it meant it wasn't in the same galaxy. It's just like there, cannot set a waypoint at the bottom there was the only way you could tell that it wasn't the galaxy you were in. The waypoint and see if anything's changed there. I mean, it might have, I guess. Somehow built it. Oh, It's actually quite close. See what happens if we do a distant one. Yeah, same as before. It doesn't really know how to do that. Yeah, no change to that. Let's go back to this new settlement. See, the space station was visible through the planet. Is this about the conflict level? You mean on here? I don't think there's anything else new. No, actually, maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure. Economy, conflict level, dominant life form, celestials. Yeah, that looks more detailed than it was, if you ask me. I'd have to look back at some of my screenshots. I don't know if I've got any that I could easily find, though. It seems like a more detailed explanation. Maybe I should look in the exploration tab as well. See if that's changed. Got these pipes in here as well. I presume they're on the build parts that we can claim. Twitter post. Sometimes that tells us that the just checking the release log. Sometimes a Twitter post after. Yes, we have the patch notes now. So let's put that onto the screen. Okay, so introducing update 5.7. Expand your planetary empire in No Man's Sky Beacon, become overseer of multiple planetary settlements, and discover the townships of the secretive robotic Autophage. Introducing improved settlement balance, more variety of management decisions, building upgrades, infestations, new base parts, and more. We'll watch that in a minute. A deep dive for Nintendo Switch 2. We'll definitely watch that in a minute. Explore an infinite universe at home or on the go with the cutting-edge No Man's Sky Nintendo Switch 2 edition, available on launch day, featuring full multiplayer between high-resolution graphics, touch controls, increased planetary detail, higher frame rates, high-res UI, gyro aiming, cross-play, and cross-save support to continue your existing journey. Doesn't mention settlements there at all, does it? Oversee multiple settlements, become overseer of up to 4 settlements, so 4 is the maximum. Managing townships on the frontier, I guess it's 1 for each race if you wanted it to do it that way. Managing townships on the frontier of multiple worlds, each with their own set of citizens and challenges. Govern your settlers wisely and invest in their infrastructure to enable each settlement to flourish, producing lucrative resources and becoming an invaluable base of operations throughout your journey. I do like this new look. This is very nice. Historical records. As overseer, review a history of your settlements, accomplishments and statistics achieved throughout your tenure, improve record keeping, now documents your influence on your citizens' happiness, and number of sentinel attacks successfully repelled, new infrastructure constructed, and more. Pyrotechnic spectacles, significant events in a settlement including festivals, new citizens, successful expeditions, building constructions, and more will now prompt the settlers to celebrate with fireworks in the town centre. Autophage settlements. Discover rare autophage settlements populated by secretive robotic life forms and assembled from scrap and crystal. Travelers who have encountered the autophage can join these settlements as overseer, and those who have earned their trust may receive a special invitation. So we got that. I don't know what level of trust you need, but we've got that on one of our saves at the moment. Inspect building details. Inspect settlement structures from their building details terminal. Each building provides an ongoing contribution to the settlement's productivity and happiness levels, and some can provide special features to boost the entire settlement. Weathered construction materials? Ah, no, that's just weathered timber or polished timber. Okay. Weathered construction materials. Adopt a rustic aesthetic for your bases with new sets of weathered and rusted surfaces applicable to all existing timber, stone, and alloy structural components, as well as the new salvage components. We might have to have a look at that. Deep settlement management. The underlying systems controlling settlements have been completely reworked for greater choice and depth. Every building now has its own calculated contribution to the happiness, population, and productivity, we noticed that, of the settlement, making construction choices more important than ever. Choose carefully which buildings to upgrade as you specialize your construction efforts to improve your citizens' lives or their revenues. Settler personalities. Conversing with your settlers can now reveal an information page about each of them, providing insight into their personalities, strengths, weaknesses, and quirks, as well as the skills of any specialists such as bakers or musicians. Interesting. Citizen dilemma improvements. Citizen disputes have been completely reworked and expanded, removing ambiguity from the scenarios described and presenting the overseer with a much wider pool of resolutions. Good. Determine your own moral stance on the quarrels of your citizens or find them all if everybody is at fault. Okay, so we've got, in this example, we've got find, scout, Aoki for money into settlement reserves, fine both for the extra money, and then just fine him and dismiss everyone. They are rivals for stewardship of the farming module. Their relations have soured after made an indiscreet advance towards betrothed. Has tried to apologise, but is refusing to speak to them. That doesn't sound that different, but it does give us more options. What would be interesting to know is if we can actually learn about these guys first. That's what I really want to see. I want to have a reason to interact with the characters as we're going about our settlement. Customize your settlement. Settlement buildings can now be upgraded to high classes, increasing their utility, enhancing their appearance, granting them more prestigious name, and raising the overall status of your township. I did notice the look changed a little bit. Autophage settlers. Some of the highly enigmatic autophage have built settlements of scrap metal and Atlantidium, where they live safely cloaked and only visible when scanned with specialist technology. The thoughts of these secretive robotic life forms are their own, with only fragments of meaning understandable to their overseer. That suggests that finding settlements just naturally as you're wandering around, they would be cloaked, I'm guessing. Squadron defends your settlement. Interesting. Travelers who've recruited pilots to their squadron now benefit from additional defenses against pirate raids as brave pilots scramble their ships to defend the settlement. So maybe that makes sense. In that save where we saw the pilot walking around and he had an exotic, he was from my squadron. Makes much more sense. Exosuit voice options. The Exocraft AI narrating your journey can now speak with a masculine voice or be silenced entirely. I think I know somebody that would like that. Okay. I mean, people have been asking for, can we please turn off the voice forever? I'll have a look at the settings in a minute. Settlement fishing, we noticed this. It does feel like we have seen most of these things already just looking around. Relax at the water's edge of settlement fishing ponds, reeling in bigger and juicier catches with each upgrade of the pool. We did think that did seem likely. Because we got C and then we got B. Richer citizen guidance. A variety of new management decisions are available to the overseer, reflecting the consequences of previous choices. Blessings and specialist workers will return to benefit the settlement, and other new scenarios will arise, such as commissioning artwork or helping name a newborn citizen. Excellent. Because they could have little story ripples that we don't necessarily notice straight away. It would be nice to have that kind of story depth as well. We'll see how deep they are. Custom resource production. Settlements that are clear of debt now have a far greater range of options for resource production. Each resource is now tied to particular buildings' upgrade levels, allowing overseers who develop farming, industrial, or trade specialisms a greater range of materials. Manufactured resources are now directed by the overseer instead of automatically assigned. Return to a thriving settlement to harvest its resources, to assist your journey, or export them for sale on the galactic exchange. We've played with that a little bit. We've worked out roughly how that works. An essential base of operations. Structures at your settlement now offer deeper interactivity and gameplay. Converse with guild envoys. We did spot those. Probe deep space from towers. We did spot that. We didn't activate it. Determine the soundtrack at the saloon. We noticed that. Deconstruct starships at landing pads. We noticed that. Purchase new multi-tools from factories. Didn't see that one. That's interesting. May have a new multi-tool terminal available to us. I wonder if it will change a bit like the one in the freighter. XESS. Well, I don't have an Intel GPU, but now have real-time upscaling. Player voice options. Player vocalizations such as breathing or exertions when running can now be customized to several different voice types, varying in pitch and character. That's weird. Okay. Vile Brood seeks hope. So this was the, I was not sure if it would be the spawn from the worms or these spawn. The dangers that threaten a planetary settlement are now more varied. Sentinel forces seeking to eliminate settlements now include waves of repair drones, summoners, heavy, corrupted, and standard drones, leading to more interesting and tactical combat encounters. Good. The vile insect queen and her brood have also developed a new curiosity about these deliciously populated points of interest. Autophage base parts. Visit the space anomaly to obtain a I haven't done this. I haven't looked to see if there is an associated expedition. I didn't look in the terminal. Visit the space anomaly to obtain a multitude of new structural and decorative autophage base parts and construct your own base with their hard sci-fi aesthetic. Settlement event balance. Sentinel incursion events have been rebalanced so that the settlements call their overseers to return and defend them less frequently. Good. The range of citizen and management decisions settlers can ask your guidance on has been expanded. Good. And the rewards for doing so have been adjusted to be more enticing to a busy overseer. We did notice that with different stats being added. The range of stat boosting special features a settlement can acquire has been tripled to 18. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means. Oh, that's when we were noticing there were multiple pages. So instead of 6, it's now 18. Survey your empire. Use the quick menu to access the settlements register from anywhere, allowing an overseer to quickly assess the status of all their managed settlements. For some reason, it's also showing settlements we've never owned or are in different saves. View debt progress, production status and history, and even retire as overseer. Settlements influence system economy. A flourishing settlement benefits an entire solar system, with the local economy receiving a boost from its wealth. I wonder how that works. If it suddenly goes to flourishing, we can start getting a bigger variety of ships. Like finding S classes will be easier. Very interesting. Yeah, I have been kind of ignoring chat. I thought I'd go back to it after I finish, but this is a big one. This is a big one for lots of us. The system economy upgradable from tier 1 to tier 2 to 3. Wow, I wonder if it upgrades for all players or just your own save. Well, I can't see how it can obviously do it for all players, but all players that are connected to the internet, maybe. I mean, our settlements are visible, but they've never been fully visible. There's always been a few issues with settlement visibility. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll have to investigate. Improved snapping. Okay. The mechanism for snapping structural base parts together has been revisited, greatly improving the building experience when placing floors and roofs. That's something that everybody wants. We'll have to see how it works. I presume it's just they've integrated that planer system but haven't got the set of the plane. We'll have to play with that. Cross-save full release. The cross-save feature is now available to all players. I did think this would coincide with Switch 2. The cross-save feature is now available to all players, allowing you to seamlessly continue your journey across any platforms running No Man's Sky. To transfer your save data across platforms, read more about cross-save and connect your platform accounts here. Excellent news. A lot of people have been asking, when will this actually become available? I think the answer is it's just become available. And I will read the patch notes at my leisure. I usually look at these in great detail, but there's probably just a few too many of them. Maybe come back to those at another time if there's anything really interesting there. Let's go back to the top. I don't want to play the sound necessarily. You're never 100% sure with copyright on these things.
This is the Beacon Update. A huge...
I can't even hear anyway. I don't think I've got it I don't think I've got my browser volume. I'll just scrub through it because I'm not playing it. I'm just check see if there's anything interesting. Doing the normal thing of taking off with lots of ships. There is a pattern to these. Why did that focus on a shooting? Interesting. Maybe they've changed that slightly. We'll see. This is all just stuff we've seen. And I'm going to have to look at that separately, I think. I don't know. Maybe we can play
Peggy
this one.
12.
Let's see if we can get a volume on it.
It's always...
Could you hear that name? Could you hear them say that? Anybody just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the volume
on a new platform. Our latest update for No Man's Sky
looks like it is coming up. I'm gonna assume you can hear this, and we'll play it. We'll play it.
Peggy 12.
It's always so exciting to get our hands on a new platform. Our latest update for No Man's Sky, it's called Beacon, and it adds Nintendo Switch 2 support at launch. For the last year, we've had this little secret room hiding some dev kits. With the original Switch, we were pushing right at the edge of what was possible. No Man's Sky on Switch 2 is just a huge leap forward. The extra horsepower, it allows us to add full multiplayer for the first time on Switch 2. Cross-save and cross-play are there from day one, allowing players a seamless experience across devices. We've massively pushed the density and level of detail out. We're rendering significantly more than before at a much higher resolution and also an increased frame rate. Our latest update, Beacon, it adds these huge, dense robot towns. You can upgrade
because he didn't say whether it was on Switch 2 or not.
Inhabitant has their own little backstory. This just wasn't possible before and is new for Switch 2.
Oh, okay, that does look like they are.
On the original Switch, we were maybe the only developer to support FSR. It was real technical wizardry. We're building on this. On Switch 2, the game looks incredibly sharp and high-res. We've upped
Yeah, we can have
texture
4
density
settlements
across
now.
the board and increased resolution significantly in both handheld and TV mode. The UI is super crisp. We support touchscreen, gyro controls, cross-save, multiplayer, just so many little touches that make No Man's Sky such a natural fit on handheld. From day one, new players are benefiting from 9 years of updates, just tons of huge additions. We've been working on this for over a year. I'm super proud of what the team has achieved. Our Switch 2 edition is just another free update for existing players.
Interesting. I thought it would
Wait for
be.
you to see it for yourself.
Okay, yeah, that answers. It does seem to answer that Switch is getting settlement. So very interesting. Switch 2 at least. So let's go back and have a look what's been going on in chat. So that took a long while. Switch 2 deep dive, part of Beacon. Our Switch 2 edition is a free update, massively increased detail, high resolution, improved frame rate, multiplayer, touchscreen, gyro controls. Yep, a lot of these things were available on other, well, at least on the Steam Deck. I've never got gyro to work properly on the Steam Deck, but that's because I'm not very familiar with how gyro works. I think it's not something I've ever really played with. I hope they fix the S-Class issue. We are presuming they will have, because they've totally changed the way it works. I suspect they didn't want to include S-Class until now, although it did seem as if, and I never fully tested this, if you got your ability to hide from the sentinels up as high as possible, there was like a sentinel score that wasn't shown on the screens. If you got that up to as high as possible, it did seem as if you could potentially get it to S-Class, but it was almost impossible because the values were too high. I don't think you could actually do it. There's also a number of how many settlements we have. We did answer this, but yes, it's 4. And a few people mentioned 4 in the chat. And as we said, theoretically, that would allow us to have 1 for each race, although you could specialize and just have 4 of the same if you wanted. I think that's most of the thing. Oh, the last one. Squadrons might actually be useful now. Yes, they might actually be useful now. Although I can't imagine they'll be that useful. Why break the habit of a lifetime? So, is there anything else going on in here? Not yet. Let's go to the other one. Although we can, of course, seemingly manage them both at the same time in the same terminal now. So what was one of the things we noted? Yeah, the improved snapping. We'll have to have a look at that, I think. Stop putting us in the middle of the... It definitely needs fixing. It's even hurting as we land. Look, I've got a slight piece of damage from it. Be very interesting. It might be worth just having a few streams where we just play with this and just see what happens as we progress and how it progresses. I can't imagine it would be enough to really be the focus of too many streams, but it's definitely worth playing with it, I think. Let's see how much we can damage the other settlement? Not a lot, we can just look. But then that's not got any ability to do much anyway yet. We definitely don't want iron batteries. Which is the one we don't get brought back very often. So you can build your way up on the production from dirt to fusion cores. Is that? No. These are all top ones, aren't they? Dirt is the bottom one. No, that's not a top one, but it's A class. So it's 2 probably local things, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of the higher ones. Interesting. Right, which are we? Which planet are we on? I want to check something while I'm here. I want to see. Yeah, it's still very patchy on this planet. I'm not sure if some planets have patchier grass than others, but those straight lines to me suggest a bug still. I think there's still a rendering bug on some planets. Won't worry about that right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my other save. We'll see what the building changes feel like. So we've got a building here. The big test. Well, that looks much better. Put some walls in. Let's have a look at the change my buttons back to how I used to have them before. yeah, that's much improved in terms of. That's the most common thing that people complain about, is not being able to put stairs in properly. And it just feels like it used to a few years back, where things just seem to go into the right places. Let's have a look at triangles. See if they've improved them. Nope, they've still got gaps. Textures look different. There are different textures now. So it's polished or weathered. Doesn't look much different there. I don't think textures are working yet. I think they're all weathered. They look the same to me. I don't see any obvious differences in those. They're mirrored. Stick to walls. Yeah, I don't think the textures are working right now. There doesn't seem to be any difference. Let's try it with the actual individual parts. They're the same. Even in the dark you can see there's not any obvious change to that. Nothing going on there. Nothing to see here yet. Odd that they would. It doesn't surprise me that sometimes new features don't get fully implemented straight away. I wonder if these have got them on. It would have to get dark as we were trying to do this, wouldn't it? No, I think they're both rusted. As these both seem to be weathered. I think it's stuck on weathered at the moment. I wonder if there's a way we can glitch it. Do they still have the same options? They have the old options. it's not gonna. Okay. The other question is, small timps, these can sometimes be a pain. No, they look a lot. They're fitting in directly in all 4 spots. That used to be, oh no, maybe that, oh no, I don't suppose it's going to snap there unless we put one there. It's not, yeah, it's not slotting in there. Not that we'd necessarily want it to, but it could indicate the same issues with these.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
They look alright. They don't look like they're struggling to go where we want them to. Yeah, that feels so much more natural. It just seems to flick between them. Yeah, that feels improved. You used to have to kind of battle to get that right. I wonder how wires have changed. That wire point's, it's before the end, look. Oh, is that going to change things? Did that wire glitch onto the end of the wire, or did that wire glitch onto the point? I think it's purely visual. Yeah, that's still wire glitched onto the end of the wire, but the visual point of the wire moves it into the wire, which makes it easier to know which wire you've selected, which is very interesting that they allowed us to have a visual change and the wire point to look different, but they've actually supported wire glitching still by not changing the position that the wire connects to. I guess they had to, because otherwise the wire wouldn't connect. Still cache. Yes, we can. Universal adjacency is still working. Wire glitching is still working. Adjacency is still working. All good news, no bad news, apart from they haven't fixed triangles. And the weathering effects aren't showing up properly, or rather, they're only showing up in the weathered and not in the polished versions. Walking on air.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
I was thinking people weren't talking, and it was just that I had it earlier. So let's have a look, see what I've missed. Streams Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and twice on Saturday. Check ramp Hi, a camel emoji. That's a very nice camel emoji. Check a ramp next to an inner wall. Those can be tricky to place. Yes, we tested that. Weathered version looks like the varnish has peeled off. Yes, but it doesn't look like we can get any other version. Are teleport cables still limited to 200 U's? Oh, we could test it. I doubt they've changed. Okay, we're still in building here. I'm not even pulling it. Unless they're just less visible now. Okay, it's just not. It's just showing the ends. So where's my building? There it is. That'd be a good test. Took me out of the building menu. I've got to find that again now. It's over there behind. That's looking promising, isn't it? It's not actually connected to electricity yet. I have to do both. No, I don't. So that's 128 views away from the base. So I might have just kept it in 200 views, I guess. So let's push it a little bit further out. It looks like they are. Let's see if we can glitch them these days. I noticed there's a placeholder text on that expedition from settlement. It doesn't tell me which settlement. That's slightly interesting. I might not be able to rotate them anymore. That goes to the next thing. Now, I'm not sure if we can glitch on freighters anymore, because we're in wire. I don't seem to be able to. I don't seem to be able to switch the type of wiring. Trying everything I can think of, pressing multiple buttons, and I'm not switching between wire types. I'm in electrical wiring, and if I click no, can't. Okay. I think it's just set up differently on this. Okay, that panic over. But no, it doesn't look like we can put cables over 200. I was going to try and glitch one, wasn't I? I don't think you can put wires over 200 either, can you? Let's find out. No, you can't. So there's no way of obviously glitching it either. But that hasn't changed. You can still do back-to-back. You can still use staggered teleport, which I've never had that much of a problem with. Find out what's going on in the settlement now. Let's see if it's still got that issue with the wrong settlement details showing up. Log. Yeah, it's showing other settlements. It doesn't make any sense. That isn't in this save. And that one, it doesn't even know where it is. And now we're showing up in Lakulu's system. Definitely a bug. Because we all know where Lakulu's system is. And for those who don't know, that's the center of Euclid. And now it's showing... Did I make that one? Fool's Paradise is not in this save. This is the settlement we're in now. Was that the one we... Yeah, that's the one I've been making. Okay. Definitely some bugs going on here. But I bet that one that's the placeholder name is the Lakulu one. I bet this one is the Lakulu one. So this one's in my save, this one's in my save. This one's in a different save entirely, so I can't get to it. And this one doesn't exist, and it's probably that one in Lakulu. Approves salon begins construction of a dance lounge. They're now calling it a dance lounge. Plus 3 population growth. So yeah, so this population growth happens with all sorts of things. Approve utility module. Machinery unit, 1 population growth. So it looks like you can get your population growth up quite quickly with a salon. A saloon rather. They haven't changed the percentages. I approve because I never saw a problem with that. 54% approve of one thing, 52% of people approve of the other, which implies that there's obviously a certain number of people that approve of both. That's fine. That's not a problem. Not a bug. Should have checked to see if it took away the resources when I did that, because it didn't earlier. So this is going to take a while. I can't do anything else in this settlement, so we might as well. You know, dance. I don't want the idea of a dancing Gek on a pole, or a dancing Vy'keen on a pole, or any of them really. It sounds a terrible idea. We just need a barman. Why haven't we got a barman? It would be nice that if we get to S class in the saloon, it actually gives us a barman. That would be a very nice addition. options have we got here? Not many at the moment. Got all of the different. So I wonder if we do these, does that mean that when we go into those, let's test it. Make gamma root, and then we'll go into our buildings and see if it's actually growing gamma root. I don't want to get my own drinks. No gamma root being grown in here. The thing about having a barman is I can't help thinking he'd be an actual interaction point. You can actually do something with him. Glacial dwelling. I think it might be overselling it. I can hear my music being played in here. But just because I'm near the saloon. I'm surprised they haven't complained about the noise. Well, that's interesting. That's the thing I was going to look at in the options. So, accessibility in general. Feminine suit voice, masculine suit voice off. Let's listen to the masculine suit voice. Should we sell something? Units received. Do the whole thing, so I'll just hit restore point. So that's a weird voice. It's going to take a bit of getting used to. I wonder if the female voice has also changed.
Product received.
It sounds very electronic, doesn't it? Yeah. General.
Product received.
Nope, same. They're markedly different. Player voice, player vocalizations. Set the vocal range for vocalizations such as breathings and grunts made by the player character. Voice A, voice B, voice C, off. Default is B. Let's try voice A. hearing any. How am I going to get them? I'm exhausted, I suppose. Trouble is, I've emphasized sprinting on this, so becoming exhausted isn't going to be easy. Like, the bar's hardly going down. If I stop, it will probably just pop up again because I've got sprint recovery high as well. I'm not sure if it actually changes with first person or not, but first of all, we need to be exhausted to hear if this one comes up, and it's going to take a while. It stopped it and gave it back again.
Weather warning, incoming storm.
That sounds like Captain Steve's sidekick he sometimes uses. Captain Steve's secretly been recording the Hello Games. Couldn't hear a thing. Probably because it did hurt it. Well, it damaged my shields. No grunt. I think I might need to go onto a different character to try and get the vocalizations working. Possible that A is almost nothing. Let's go into a different save to do this. Let's change every 100. What do you mean? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I'm not hearing anything. Let's go to first person. I don't have on a hotkey on this one, so I'm going to have to do it manually. Nothing. I don't know, it just says vocalizations. I'm wondering if they're just not working at the moment. Put it back on B, see if we can hear them. And actually, vocals, volume for the exit voice and player vocalizations. Let's turn that right up. So we can actually turn down the voice of the suit. That's radical. You can hear that. But that's about it. No grunt there. Maybe I have to drop from a greater height. Or is it just more subtle now? Let's jump on a ship and go somewhere high and jump off. Got that flickering again. They're going to have to fix that. Something to jump off of. Do. That. Just not hearing any grunts. I'm only hearing a slight breathing when I'm exhausted. What about I'm gonna punch something? Nope. My bet is that there is no change to dialogues in the thing, but we'd have to test it. I mean, luckily this save hasn't. That's just an ordinary breathing. Let's see. Or it was a slightly different noise. avoid hitting a bump upwards because it slows me down and stops the exhaustion. Yep. So there's a different kind of growly, perhaps Viking vocalization there. You know what this could mean? This could mean that they're actually going to have some NPCs that run around on planets at some point.
Weather warning, incoming storm.
I'm only getting the vocalizations when I'm exhausted. I can't make it grunt. Can anybody think of a way I can force it to grunt? Is it perhaps being shot by something? Yeah, definitely hearing that. Let's change. See what the vocalization is for this. Can't hear anything. Nice little cache here. I'll grab it while I can. If there's a vocalization for voice A, then it's very subtle because I can't hear it. Yeah, we'll try fighting something in a minute. Running up and down is not going to help. An electronic voice. There was a slight, like almost an electronic breathing, perhaps. Right, are there any sentinels around that we can fight? Well, these will do. Especially as it's hot weather, so we can just mostly fly there. All the way there. Okay. No, there's no... There's no stone here.
Weather update, storm clearing.
I've got a fossil bed, but we don't have any of those stone things. There's one. It's a little way away. Yeah, I'm not restoring anything, so that, but I have a feeling that it'd be quicker to just go over there and shoot and get something to shoot. Check and see if they've improved. They've changed that, haven't they? That's not just wobbling from, but it's still moving from an odd spot. Now it's moving from the middle. They've changed it, but not necessarily for the better. Look, it's wobbling completely out of the frame. Odd. So I've tried to improve it. Even more navigation data. With this navigation data, you are spoiling us. Where is it? Underground, okay. Probably with underground ones, as they often don't spawn properly. Yes, it has been. Maybe they fixed them. Am I hearing like a growling noise?
Critical damage taken.
I'm not sure. Let's change the vocalizations again.
Critical damage taken.
I'm nearly dead now. I don't want to die to prove my point. This is where I die.
Life support power low. No free slots in suit inventory.
I didn't hear anything, but maybe it was subtle. Let's have some meat. I usually have some meat. What does that give us? That consume it. Oh, that's some meat. It's giving me some. Oh. Let's go back to... Apparently the default was B. Shoot me. I'm just turning the special effects down, just having the vocals.
Weather warning. Incoming storm. Shield down.
No, I'm not. The only ones I'm hearing are these slightly exhausted. Let's see if they are louder in this. With these volume settings. Drowning yourself, I guess, but don't really want to try that. Stop running at some point there. And again. See if these are louder to start with. No, if there's anything, it's very subtle. Yeah, I think people are going to say I can't hear these vocalizations because they're not very loud and they're quite subtle and don't seem to make an awful lot of difference. Being able to turn the seat voice off is radical. Can't think what else to check. Yeah, I suspect there might be. They haven't quite got the vocalizations right. Pardon me. That isn't... Is that this save? What save are we in? After title. Yeah, that... See, again... Clearly a problem here, because Shield Wall is the one that is on this save, and Fool's Paradise, as we saw, is on a different save. But I think I may have exhausted, unless anybody can think of anything else I haven't really looked at yet that they spotted in the list. I think I may have exhausted all the things to look at. Go back to it's very disappointing that they've clearly tried to fix that tail and they've got it moving around too much. It felt like the landing animation was improved. What was wrong is it just kind of didn't really move very convincingly. So they've tried to make it move a bit more convincingly by giving it more movement in the inner part because it just kind of wobbled almost. You know, a dog's tail would wag a bit like that, or like that, but instead it was just kind of doing that. It was kind of moving quite statically and wobbling a bit. Whereas now, all they've done is they've tried to put the inner point that's closest to the ship move around a bit, but they've made it move around too much. I wonder if that's related to the camera, because I've got it on 100 degrees. No, it's still doing it. It's still moving out of the model. What's this go up to? 120. I'd imagine that's a bit too much. Yeah, absolutely. It's just wobbling everywhere. Is this not even my base? Oh, this is probably... Yes, it is my base. The tower is not just a work in progress. It's been a work in progress since the Wraith came out, and now it's worse than it was. That's just wrong. Craziness. So, is there anything else we can think of that we haven't looked at? Maybe as we're coming to an end, we'll have a quick look at the actual bug fixes and see what's been fixed. Or supposedly fixed, because sometimes they fix an issue that could prevent removal of players added to No Man's Sky friends list. People have been complaining about that. Fixed an issue on Steam that prevented the game from recognizing blocks issued to other players via the Steam interface. What does that mean, recognizing blocks? Oh, if you've blocked them. Okay. If you blocked them via the Steam interface. So it's not recognizing the blocks necessarily. Fixed a rare issue which could cause a ship to be overwritten with another player's ship when going through a portal during the core story missions in multiplayer. Okay. Fix an issue that could prevent a mission with a very distant target location from being restarted if that location was in a different galaxy. That's good, because it has been a problem to sometimes... It's clearly you should be able to restart the mission and it's not letting you. Fix an issue that could cause duplication of a starship's core technology. Fix an issue... That does happen occasionally. I've not seen it in myself, but I have seen people talk about that. Fix an issue that could cause the exosuit voice to be too loud. Well, now we can change the exosuit voice exosuit voice volume anyway. Fix an issue that could cause in-game options to reset when relaunching the game. Not seen that. Fix an issue that could cause expedition reward multi-tools to rename themselves. Finally. Fix an issue that prevented crepuscular rays from rendering. Wouldn't know if I'd saw one, but I can imagine that would be from the bugs. Fix an issue that could cause slowdown when hovering over an item in the product crafting menu. Yeah, we have noticed that. Added some missing ramp structural parts to the catalogue. Missing ramp structural base parts. I had not noticed any. Interesting. Fixed an issue that could cause a marker to appear above the ship communicator. Yes, well, I haven't seen that in... Actually, no, I did. I thought I did see that today. We'll see if that's gone away. They've tried to fix that already. Fix a rare issue that could block Tethys's dialogue in the early stages of A Trace of Metal. That would be a bit of a blocker. Fix an issue that caused the settlers in A Trace of Metal to celebrate being put in quarantine. Okay. Fix that must be a testing one, because we didn't see them celebrate and now we do. So that must have been doing that during the testing. Fix an issue that caused Korvac's visitor gifts at settlements to be mislabeled. Again, that could be current. Fix an issue that allowed applying for overseer status during the initial tutorial combat of your first settlement. Okay. Fix an issue that could cause a settlement alert to increase before the overseer's office had finished construction. I think some of these are just to do with the newer interface, personally. Fix a number of issues that could cause collect surplus resource objectives in the settlement management system prior to... Yeah, that does happen. Fix an issue that could cause NPCs and settlement management decisions to celebrate their expedition request. Again, there's a celebrate thing. Cause nothing found message to appear. Fix an issue that cause entering planetary settlement. I have noticed that, actually, entering planetary settlement coming up too often. NPCs now navigate more intelligently around settlements and are less likely to walk into walls. Finally. Fix an issue that could cause better NPCs to spawn inside the terrain when loading a save at a settlement. Okay. Fix a number of camera issues when making settlement management decisions involving NPCs of differing heights. Fair enough. Fix an issue that cause traveler NPCs to appear in settlement management decisions. Good. I wonder how long that'll stick, because they fixed that before. Could cause generated settlement names to be erroneously censored by the profanity filter. Could cause the player's sentinel wanted level to increase while fighting off a sentinel attack. I wonder if that was one of the things that was stopping us getting to S-Class before, because the sentinel wanted level was one of the things that could affect things. Fixation that could allow ancient living stone guardians to spawn and attack during the early tutorial stages of the game. That would be quite nasty. Allowed ancient living stone guardians to target players with an active cloaking device. Fair enough. Prevented ancient living stone guardians from hitting their targets on low gravity planets. Not noticed that. Fixation that prevented sentinels and ancient living stone guardians from targeting the player while piloting an exocraft. Did notice that. Corruption that could occur when the Minotaur was pushed by a physical force. Well, they see those a lot, so I don't know if they'll fix that properly. It should cause camera to dip beneath the terrain when riding a creature. Excellent. Hope that's apparent. Allow ridden creatures to intersect terrain. Again, hope that's apparent and doesn't continue. Invalid data to appear in the ship archiving interface. That might be to do with the wrong messaging coming up which a lot of people were complaining about. I didn't even notice it until people started to complain. Could cause the current teleporter to appear as a possible teleport. Have noticed that. Cause eyes of some autophage to float out. Yes, I reported that. Fixed it at last. Fixed a UA overlap issue in photo mode where the save file path notification was obscured behind the control bar. Okay, yeah, that I suppose it was. I never really bothered about it. It didn't bother me. I could still read it. Improved the placements of the hold to skip UI on Nintendo Switch. Several rendering issues on Nintendo Switch. Motion blur to appear block. It don't have motion blur on. Could prevent some planetary rocks and foliage from appearing. Fair enough. Image about to open Xbox and Mac, and rendering issues prevented decals on Mac. Okay, fair enough. Ignition is great. Is happy that he can now delete a bunch of friends. I can imagine that not being able to delete people would have been a bit of annoying. That's Galaxy names on the Discoveries page. Added the name of the current Galaxy to the portal. We noticed that. They're mostly things you're not going to notice, except for added approximately 100 new autophage. Yes, we noticed that. Weather timber didn't work. Significantly improved the snapping. We did see that. Prevent the cynical room frame from snapping to other base parts at last. That has been a problem. Cause terrain edits to fail to be uploaded alongside the base they belong to. That could fix quite a few of the terrain coming back in, because a lot of those were to do with multiplayer. This one does suggest that you can just retire and not have a settlement at all. We already played the matinee feature. We played that video that Sean made. Okay, so I think that's probably it for today. And at nearly an hour and I'm sorry, nearly 3.5 hours. So I will say goodbye and travel well. Thanks for joining me. I will probably actually I didn't check before we do that. Quick to I haven't got any slots available right now. I did delete a load of slots, but I think I must have put a save back in, so I'll delete some slots. But I was going to check to see if there was any evidence of an expedition, and I haven't looked. So before I log off, that'll be the last thing I do. Let's go back to the original. Go to the anomaly. It didn't mention expeditions at all in the patch notes. I doubt there is one, but it's a good place to end up just to make sure. They show up better at night, these letters. See, no mesh and texture stuff there. I wonder if it's a cache issue. I might have to clear my cache. I don't like this. Is it accessibility? No, it must be camera. 120 is far too wide. Am I using a male or female voice for my just chatting event? I'm using my own recorded voice, so it's me reminding me. It's just telling me over and over again in this ear that I'm in the just chatting page. Yeah, I don't have a free slot to check to see, but I can check here. All I need to do is go to the Quicksilver Merchant and see if there's any evidence of an expedition. Because even if it hasn't started yet, it will be in there. If it's lined up and ready, then we'll be able to see the rewards. It didn't mention anything at all, so I doubt it. You'd have thought they might have been able to do a specialist expedition for settlements, but clearly not. Maybe we'll get one later in the year, maybe a month or two's time. So no, Expedition 18's there. There's no Expedition 19 showing. If it was this save that I got a few more salvage data, it is. Might as well grab it while we're here. Didn't get that much, but I wonder if these ramps were not being shown properly.
Item received. Item received. Item received.
Okay, so I'll do for now. I didn't check any of the things to see if there's new stuff, but the patch notes don't mention new stuff in here, so we'll see. Thanks for watching. I've been Pharaoh. Travel well. Subscribe if you want notifications of when I'm actually streaming, because it's usually Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but I do kind of stream quite randomly. I've got into the habit now of kind of putting a warning up, so if you want to get advance notice, then make sure you're subscribed and make sure you haven't been unsubscribed. But in the meantime, cheerio, travel well, and goodbye for now.